Well, let's get into meeting the incredible fintechs that are building great ideas. And Tribe Digital Ventures provides a platform built for companies, investors and brokers driven by the blockchain and the need for change security token offerings, STOs as they're known, to open up a market of opportunities for investors and businesses worthwhile. CEO Chris Evans from Tribe Digital Ventures joins me here in the studio to tell us more. Chris, great to have you in.
Thank you, Simon.
So tell us about the Tribe story. Of course, we're seeing blockchain coming to the fore, and even the ASX is starting to find ways to use it effectively, as we heard in the news this week. How is Tribe tackling this issue?
Tribe Digital Ventures is a great platform rolling out with real estate. So our main focus at the moment is real estate and merging that with the blockchain together. So fundamentally, there was always a big gap between the cryptocurrency and blockchain itself, and then you had the traditional hard assets. So what we've managed to do is, it was only a few months ago we acquired Tribe Digital Ventures through our organisation, and what we're managing to do is a managed investment scheme, regulated managed investment scheme, and bring real estate into blockchain, and then fundamentally break that down into tokens, and then have that as an issuing units out to investors.
Okay, so for people who are not across the blockchain, we're always looking at use cases, how it's going to work, and of course land title when it comes to real estate is a whole separate and, shall we say, quite complex and also very paper-based issue along the way. So I can see the digital opportunities. How does Tribe Digital Ventures see this opportunity using blockchain?
Sure. So on the side, we're also building our own platform, which is the EOS 500, which then that also brings liquidity out to our investors. We'll be able to bring our investments up onto the platform once we've done our due diligence within the investment. And then we go through the smart contract process on the blockchain and then roll that out to tokenization and fundamentally breaking it down to units via a standard traditional format, no different to your property fund, for example, that has issuing of units. The only difference is we're digitising those units.
Is it a massive rethink in terms of, or is it a case of a little bit like jumping in a Ferrari? You don't have to know how the engine works to know it goes fast and it's great to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still maintaining the traditional format of the fund sort of managed investment scheme, but again, bringing in the digitising side of it and marrying both, which is a great opportunity going forward.
Now, you have this great understanding tokenization guide so that people can understand it. How do you explain it to people for the first time so they can kind of get their heads around it?
I use the simple analogy of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Yep.
We can't all afford to buy the Sydney Harbour Bridge, but we can break that Sydney Harbour Bridge down to bricks, for example, and digitise and break those individual bricks and then be able to then on forward then to investors that can afford to buy them.
So does this then create a new layer of accessibility for investors in real estate rather than sort of trying to stump up the $1 million for a one-bedroom apartment in Sydney?
Absolutely, yeah. And the other key factor is that a lot of investors want to diversify these days. So it's not a matter of, do I put all my eggs in one basket? I would rather have a little bit of a portfolio going forward, and I buy a little bit of this asset, a little bit of that asset. And the only way that can be achieved by breaking it down through tokens.
So where does cryptocurrency sit in this mix along the way as well?
Cryptocurrency is sort of a separated platform altogether to tokenization, because tokenization, you've got the underlying asset, which is the real estate, the property, bricks and mortar.
But it's not a case of, you know, I rock up with my Ethereum and sort of say, hey, I would like a piece of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Actually, that is where we're heading, where instead of using fiat currency, you'll be able to have the opportunity, if you're in the community of crypto and you've accumulated a lot of cryptocurrency, you'll be able to buy that particular asset or investment with cryptocurrency.
So as you've been rolling out this idea, tell us a little bit about the customer reaction, investors. How are they responding?
We're actually getting an amazing feedback from investors, being able to go into tokenization, because the traditional way, and it's mostly on debt tokens, creating a token for debt, raising capital on property. Traditional type of fundraising now is becoming quite hard, and funding lines are becoming quite scarce. So it's actually quite popular, and we're getting great feedback from it.
So Chris, where do you see the biggest opportunity for Tribe Digital Ventures?
The biggest opportunity is being able to create a lot more debt equity tokens and be able to help developers and increase growth and sustainability, and also to bring the blockchain, again, merge it with traditional real estate, hard real life assets, because I believe that going forward that will be the way to invest in hard real assets.
Well, I'm going to say, as an investor, I think they were a little bit more comforted by having actual real estate rather than metaverse real estate.
Correct. And that's where the idea came from. Initially, when we launched Parkworth Investments, which is our subsidiary company that runs a managed investment scheme for the International Crypto Fund, which is solely a BT acquisition of the asset and then buy and hold strategy. Then our next phase was to tokenise hard real life assets.
Now, the interesting thing about this is, you're dealing with things like know your customer, anti-money laundering along the way, all of those fintech issues.
Yep.
Do you see other opportunities down the track for the business outside of real estate and dealing with all of that?
Ideally, we would love to tokenise everything, if we possibly can. But
tokenise the world sounds like a good tagline.
Maybe celebrities, tokenise celebrities. But the idea is to try and start with real life assets, what everyone knows, from a security perspective and risk averse. So real estate was a perfect fit for Tribe Digital Ventures going forward.
And finally, Chris, what's most exciting in terms of the next steps for Tribe? Are you looking at raising capital? I mean, you were talking about you did the acquisition to go into this space. What are the next steps?
Currently we've funded ourselves through our balance sheet, so we're in the process now of finalising some term sheets for a capital raise, which will probably go to market in about 2 weeks. Once that's completed, we'll be ready to go to market.
Any particular investors you're looking for?
Wholesale investors, particularly, and any investors that are keen to get into the blockchain and security token offerings.
Chris Evans, CEO of Tribe Digital Ventures, great to have you on the show as part of Fintech Australia.
It was
Thanks
a
very
pleasure.
much for joining us.
Thank you, Simon.